Here's a shocking but true fact about this population, your nation, and you and everyone who you know. 3/4 of everybody that you've ever met in your life and will ever meet, you and I included, 3/4 of all those people are corrupt, liars, bad people. Not because they've got bad hearts, but the expression of their heart, their lives and their behaviour mark them out as being bad. And that's just a fact. I know it's not a very nice thing to have to say, but there is a hopeful plus point to this. If 3/4 of people are liars, hypocrites and bad because they behave like that, that means 1/4 are extremely good. Now that could be you in there. That could be you in that last quarter. So that means it's like the elite, the Illuminati, right? Everyone thinks there's like 1% of the world that's got all the money, that makes all the decisions, that do all the evil stuff, right? You think that's just 1%. On the other side of the coin, there's 1% who do all the virtuous stuff, who tell all the truths, who are not hypocrites at all, who are pure. They're the good people. They are responsible for virtually everything that goes on that's good. You can be in that tiny little sliver. You can put yourself in there. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you nothing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to work in a certain job, or you don't have to go out like a superhero every day. All you need to do is have strength and courage. Just in little tiny ways. Just little itty bitty ways. Just every day when you wake up, make a decision that you're not going to accept lies from other people, neither are you going to deal in lies. You are not going to be a hypocrite. You'll admit when you're wrong and you'll learn the lesson with humility, but you will be willing to tell other people when they're wrong, rebuke their evils and teach them a lesson. But you will do all these things with a kindness, a loving heart. It's easy. Very, very easy. Compared to some things. Compared to your day job. Compared to getting along well with your mum and dad, or, making your marriage last. These are difficult things to do. You can do those. But being in that 1% of virtuous good people is unfortunately out of reach for 3/4 of the population, and the reason I'm making this video, ladies, gents and Pikachus, beloveds of the internet, viewers of my channel, is I am personally appealing to you, because I know you're capable. If you have a desire to be in that 1%, make it a priority. In the new year, when you make your New Year's resolution, make it your priority and say to yourself, I am going to be in that 1%. I am going to be in the good elite. I'm going to be in the 1% of pure, not arrogant, not selfish, honest and good people, and the expression of my life, my behaviour, everything I do is going to be rooted in good. Not just for me, but for everyone. And if you ever needed any reason why, this book here, the Holy Bible, 3/4 of this whole book is God saying, don't do that. To lying, hypocrisy, thieving, violence, turncoating on people, stitching people up, stabbing them in the back, trying to earn money off of these things. God is spending 3/4 of the entire time he speaks to us in this book saying, don't do these things. And the other quarter saying, but if you don't, then you get heaven, salvation, all the good things in your life. So, I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is as we come to the end of the year, I always look back and I think, how much different is my life and my country now than it was a year ago? I take stock of things, it's something I've always done. And I look back this year and I see 3/4 have gone backwards. Almost exactly 3/4 of the people I know have gone backwards, and they have backslid into evil and bad things, unfortunately for them. And this has a huge negative effect. But the other 25%, that last quarter, which hopefully will include you, we have done amazing things. We have made so much progress. Despite the difficulty, the lack of reward, sometimes we get name called, we get insulted, and nobody recognises the good that comes from the work that we do. But we do it nonetheless. And I think we can lead the way in the next year and all the other years past that. Keeping in mind that 3/4 of people aren't going to listen. They're just not. 3/4 of people are going to laugh, turn their back, They're going to tell people, don't be like that guy. And the reason is because they don't want to. That's the simple fact of the matter is those 3/4 of bad people, it's not that they don't have the capability to be good. It's not that they don't recognise what they're doing is bad. It's because they are morally lazy. And they'll take a check, or they'll take a pat on the head from someone else, and they'll go, cool, that's reward enough for me. Their reward is now. You get where I'm going with this, right? So their reward's now. This is the best it's ever going to get for them. But you and I, and the rest of that 25% that make the casting decision to prioritise being the best percent in society, we will get our rewards now and forever from God. It's not a reward that China's going to mass produce this season. It's not a reward that your bank manager is going to be pleased to see on his balance sheet. It's a reward that cannot be stolen, corrupted, or taken from you. And the only way you're going to get there is by prioritising being good. So that's what I'm appealing to you to do. Please remember to do that. And if we all do that, even though there are very few of us, the work we do will completely outstrip 75% of the population doing bad. Don't believe me? Well, 25% of this book will give you hope, and the other 75% will give you solace when you see what happens to the people who don't do that in the end. The Bible describes this as wheat and tares. Now, everyone knows what wheat is. Wheat is like a plant that you make bread out of, yeah? We all know that. Tares is a weed, a destructive, invasive, parasitic weed that looks just like wheat, smells a little bit wheaty, and until it's fully grown, you wouldn't even know the difference. So you could actually have a field full of tares and think you've got loads of wheat there, rubbing your hands thinking, oh, I'm going to have tons of bread at the end of this season when I pick all my wheat. Then you go to pick it, and your head's in your hands, and you're like, oh, all I've got here is tares, and they're useless because they don't have any seed. They don't bear fruit. So that's what God's talking about when he says a field is full of wheat and tares. They look the same. You won't be able to tell the difference until the time of harvest. And God says, don't pull up the tares. Just concentrate on being wheat. And at the harvest time, which is elected by God, he will bundle together the tares and throw them on the fire because they're useless and worthless. They will be burnt to nothing. However, the 25% that remains will be harvested and put in God's barn, which I assume he means heaven, and they will produce fruit enough for the entire planet. There will be much bread being eaten by that 25%. So if you want that to be you, just remember, you don't need to read this in order to do it, but it will certainly help. What you need to do is have courage, heart, strength of character, morality, and make sure that you are in that 25% that are good and prioritize becoming the 1% who are pure and righteous. Even if you never get there, the fact that you are aiming there is going to keep you in that 25% of good people and far away from the 75% of useless, orc-like morons, brainwashed hypocrites, and whatever insult you want to use to describe them, the bad people. You will be kept away from there through your own efforts. It will cost you nothing, won't take you any time, you won't need to buy anything, you won't need to do anything for it. Just don't lie, don't be a hypocrite, don't steal, don't be violent, don't act in a hateful way towards your brothers and sisters, and think of the future. Because if you want the future to be good and fruitful, and you want to get there, then you need to be the one that builds that future, knowing full well that 75% aren't going to help you, they will hinder you. But the 25% that you are now going to join will help you, and they are the seed bearers. They're the ones that will help you produce that fruit. They are the wheat. And they're surrounded by tares, so you can't always tell who they are, but you know which one you are. And that's what we should be. We should know we don't want to be tares. We want to be wheat. We're going to look the same. People are going to accuse us of being tares. But we are going to bear that fruit. We're going to be the ones that bring the seed, and we are going to be the ones that push righteousness back onto the map and brings this world back to a state in which we can all enjoy with the future that we will want to be in. So that's the end of this video. Merry Christmas all, by the way. Hope you had a good one. Hope you learned something and you enjoyed this. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. You, personally, just one person, you have so much power over the future, the development of your life, and everyone else is in this whole country. All you need to do, prioritise good, be in that 25%, and you'll do just fine. So that's all for now. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time.